Hi, this is Daniel again. I serve as one of the spokespersons for Nehemiah Reset. Today, I want to talk about one of the figures discussed in the Bible, Melchizedek. In the landscape of Christian theology, there are certain whose identities are shrouded in mystery, yet their significance reverberates through the pages of the Bible and the annals of religious discourse. Such enigmatic figure is Melchizedek, whose brief appearance in the Old Testament leave a lasting impression on the theological imagination, sparking debates and discussions among scholars and theologians for centuries. The mention of Melchizedek in the Bible is limited to the book of Genesis and the book of Hebrews, yet the implications of his identity and his role in the biblical narrative are far-reaching, touching upon themes of priesthood, kingship, and eschatology. In this comprehensive exploration, we will delve into the identity and significance of Melchizedek in Christian theology, examining biblical references, interpretations by top scholars, and the ways in which his character resonates in Christian beliefs. What are some of the biblical references to Melchizedek? Melchizedek makes his first appearance in the Bible in Genesis 14 verses 18 to 20, where he is described as the king of Salem, Jerusalem, and a priest of God Most High. The account recounts how Melchizedek blessed Abraham after his victory over the kings who had captured his nephew Lot. This encounter is brief but significant, as Abraham then gives Melchizedek a tithe of everything he had acquired in battle. The mysterious nature of Melchizedek is further emphasized when the text states that he has no genealogy, no beginning or end of days, and is described as a priest forever. The second reference to Melchizedek is found in the New Testament, in the book of Hebrews. The author of Hebrews draws upon the figure of Melchizedek to present Jesus Christ as a superior high priest, whose priesthood transcends that of the Levitical priesthood established under the Mosaic law. Hebrews 7 verses 1 to 3 describes Melchizedek as a king of righteousness and a king of peace, without father or mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but resembling the Son of God. The author of Hebrews then argues that Jesus Christ, being a priest in the order of Melchizedek, is able to bring about a new covenant that supersedes the old covenant of the law. What do the Christian scholars say about Melchizedek? The mention of Melchizedek in the Bible has puzzled scholars and theologians throughout history, leading to a plethora of interpretations and debates. One of the key questions surrounding Melchizedek is his identity and his significance in the biblical narrative. Some scholars argue that Melchizedek was a historical figure, a king and priest of a Jerusalem that predates the establishment of Israel under King David. Others suggest that Melchizedek was a theophany, a manifestation of God himself, appearing to bless Abraham and foreshadow the coming of Christ. The significance of Melchizedek in Christian theology is further emphasized by the parallel drawn between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ in the book of Hebrews. The author of Hebrews presents Melchizedek as a type or foreshadowing of Christ, highlighting similarities in their roles as kings and priests, as well as their eternal and unchanging nature. This has led some scholars to argue that Melchizedek represents a priesthood that predates the Levitical priesthood and serves as a model for Christ's eternal priesthood. Top Christian scholars have offered various insights into the identity and significance of Melchizedek in Christian theology. For instance, theologian and biblical scholar Walter Brueggemann suggests that Melchizedek's role as a king of righteousness and a king of peace serves as a counterpoint to the prevailing narratives of power and violence, pointing towards the establishment of a new order based on justice and peace. Similarly, theologian N.T. Wright argues that Melchizedek's priesthood represents a universal priesthood that transcends ethnic boundaries, anticipating the inclusion of all nations in the covenant of God. Is Melchizedek a prefiguration of Jesus Christ? One of the central debates surrounding Melchizedek is whether he is seen as a prefiguration of Jesus Christ in Christian theology. The parallel drawn between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ in the book of Hebrews has led many scholars to interpret Melchizedek as a type or foreshadowing of Christ, pointing towards the fulfillment of God's plan of salvation through the eternal priesthood of Christ. This interpretation is further reinforced by the similarities between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ, such as their roles as kings and priests, their eternal and unchanging nature, and their significance in the establishment of a new covenant. However, not all scholars agree on the identification of Melchizedek as a prefiguration of Jesus Christ. Some argue that Melchizedek should be understood in his own historical and theological context, as a figure who embodies the ideals of righteousness and peace, rather than solely as a symbol of Christ. This interpretation highlights the uniqueness of Melchizedek as a mysterious and enigmatic figure whose significance extends beyond his role as a precursor to Christ. The debate over whether Melchizedek is a prefiguration of Jesus Christ remains a complex and nuanced issue in Christian theology, reflecting the diverse interpretations and perspectives of scholars and theologians. While some view Melchizedek as a shadow of Christ, others emphasize his distinct identity and his role in the biblical narrative as a figure of righteousness and peace. What is Melchizedek's role in Christian beliefs? The character of Melchizedek holds a unique place in Christian beliefs, embodying themes of priesthood, kingship, and eschatology that resonate throughout the biblical narrative. As a priest of God Most High and a king of righteousness and peace, Melchizedek represents a model of faithful obedience and spiritual leadership that transcends the boundaries of time and culture. His brief but impactful encounter with Abraham serves as a testament to the power of blessing and the significance of intercessory ministry in the lives of believers. Melchizedek's role in Christian beliefs is further underscored by the parallel drawn between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ in the book of Hebrews. The author of Hebrews presents Jesus Christ as a superior high priest in the order of Melchizedek, whose priesthood inaugurates a new covenant that fulfills the promises of the old covenant. This interpretation highlights the continuity between the priesthood of Melchizedek and the priesthood of Christ, emphasizing the eternal and unchanging nature of Christ's redemptive work. Moreover, Melchizedek's character serves as a source of inspiration and encouragement for Christians, reminding them of the importance of righteousness, peace, and faith in their spiritual journey. The mysterious and enigmatic nature of Melchizedek invites believers to delve deeper into the depths of divine revelation and seek a deeper understanding of the ways in which God works in the world. Melchizedek's role in Christian beliefs thus extends beyond mere historical curiosity to embody timeless truths and spiritual insights that continue to shape the beliefs and practices of believers today. Were the real-life examples and relevance of Melchizedek. The character of Melchizedek may seem distant and abstract to modern readers, yet his significance resonates in real-life examples and anecdotes that illustrate the relevance and implications of his character in Christian doctrine. For instance, the theme of priesthood embodied by Melchizedek finds resonance in the ministry of pastors and spiritual leaders who serve as mediators between God and his people, offering blessings and guidance in times of need. The example of Melchizedek as a king of righteousness and peace challenges believers to embody these qualities in their interactions with others, seeking justice and harmony in a broken and fragmented world. Furthermore, the comparison between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ highlights the universal and inclusive nature of God's redemptive plan, inviting believers to embrace a vision of unity and reconciliation that transcends ethnic, cultural, and religious divides. The figure of Melchizedek thus serves as a catalyst for dialogue and engagement with diverse theological traditions, encouraging believers to explore the common ground that unites them in their shared faith in God. In addition, the enigmatic and mysterious nature of Melchizedek invites believers to ponder the deeper mysteries of divine revelation and the ways in which God's presence is manifested in unexpected and surprising ways. The story of Melchizedek reminds believers of the importance of remaining open to the unexpected ways in which God's grace and providence may be revealed, challenging them to move beyond their preconceived notions and embrace the mystery of faith. In conclusion, The character of Melchizedek occupies a unique and significant place in Christian theology, embodying themes of priesthood, kingship, and eschatology that resonate throughout the biblical narrative. The mentions of Melchizedek in the book of Genesis and the book of Hebrews have sparked debates and discussions among scholars and theologians, leading to diverse interpretations and insights into his identity and his significance in Christian beliefs. The parallel drawn between Melchizedek and Jesus Christ in the book of Hebrews invites believers to explore the depths of divine revelation and reflect on the continuity between the priesthood of Melchizedek and the priesthood of Christ. While some scholars view Melchizedek as a prefiguration of Christ, others emphasize his distinct identity and his role in the biblical narrative as a figure of righteousness and peace. Real-life examples and anecdotes illustrate the relevance and implications of Melchizedek's character in Christian doctrine, highlighting the universal and inclusive nature of God's redemptive plan and the challenge to embody righteousness and peace in a world in need of healing and reconciliation. As believers continue to engage with the enigmatic figure of Melchizedek, they are invited to deepen their understanding of divine mysteries and seek a closer relationship with a God who reveals himself in unexpected and transformative ways. I hope this helps you understand what biblical scholars say about the Bible character of Melchizedek. To watch other videos like this one, visit our website at nehemiahreset.org or visit our rumble.com channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day. My name is Daniel. I am one of the spokespersons for Nehemiah Reset. The prior video was sponsored by Nehemiah Reset, a 501c3 Christian organization. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ's followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote for their biblical values and to actively engage in our culture. We are also committed to help Christians and non-believers to develop a better biblical worldview. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist members of the church in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural issues and biblical ideas. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and much, much more. We also produce videos regarding key biblical topics that help Christians become more Christ-like. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch our latest videos, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org, our rumble.com channel, or our YouTube channel. We produce videos every week. To get a weekly list of our latest videos, sign up for our weekly newsletter by clicking the subscribe button at our website. You can support our website by liking our videos, subscribing to our channels, or providing donations to help us produce videos and attract more viewers. Thanks for your help in growing God's kingdom and bringing more people to Christ. Thank you for your support. Have a great day.